Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Strafe Cal. We're going to continue right where we left off. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of good options left here on the overworld. Let's double check here. Yeah, we've got Luca Key and Rat Tail left that we haven't checked. Oh, we didn't do our mist check. Let's do that quick. This is basically free since we did Mist Dragon. Magma Key? Hook? Perfect. Definitely okay with that. Wow, we're really, really full on items. We need to clean out our stash. I'm gonna run to the store quick just to sell stuff. I don't like doing that, but we're super, super over full right now. Less concerned about Thor Rages now that we've done Kinazo. That's what those were for. Don't need that. We're past the point where the power staff's useful. Wiz 10. Those are Wiz 5. We'll get rid of those. Charm arrows are okay. Great bow's okay. We will need to keep at least one floating around. Assassin dagger's not that good. Mute arrow, we're down to 1. We'll sell those. Not worth a slot at that point. Ice. We've got extra lunar staves. That should be enough to help. We shouldn't need that. Shouldn't need that. Like, worst case scenario, if we end up with a Cecil at this point, he's got like diamond armor, dragoon armband, and an Excalibur, and like a ice shield or something. Like, I'm not super worried. We'll be okay. Actually, let's real quick check. Now that we've cleared Baron Castle, we can check the Odin spot. We're really low level for this, but it could be worth checking at least. And we did clear our inventory enough that we may be able to loot here, but I'm going to check the spot first. Honestly, no, we don't need to loot. We're good on loot. I don't know what I'm thinking. Like, we could get more Zeus gauntlets. Is that... Oh, yes. This is gonna suck until it doesn't. So, Dark Imps are a... Dark Imps are a regular type enemy, which means they don't have the boss flag, which means they aren't immune to instant death, so we can use coffins on them. Coffins instant kill an enemy. We can then use a life potion on them to bring them back. But since regular enemies don't have a vitality stat, they come back with 0 hit points and die a second time, which means we get extra experience. That is perfect. That was the light sword, which is worthless. Okay, so I'm going to do a very brief wave of loot on the way back, but not going to go all out. Not going to go upstairs or anything. Second Rune X. I'm content. Second round of Artemis arrows. Really good. We're probably going to be able to do a grind that way. We'll do magma first and go to the Underworld, see what's there, but honestly, having that, having 20 Artemis arrows makes me feel like we could probably risk the moon at some point here. We'll equip that second rune X on Kane. Because I don't think he can use the Lightbringer, lightsaber, whatever. He might be able to, but I don't think he can. I'm pretty sure that only Paladin Cecil can use it. Paladin Cecil gets all the cool toys. Excalibur, Crystal Sword, Lightbringer. He can use Avenger, although King can actually use that one too. There's a lot of good swords in this game. So I'm gonna go here first. It's not like it's a super big deal as far as items go at this point, but we do still need Bacchus wines, which is right there. That's some stuff we could probably sell. Okay. We'll go check on Jobdorf real quick. He is a job analyst. Okay. One of the things they randomized is that dwarf normally names a profession. So they customize, or he normally says he's a farmer, which makes no sense considering there are, in an underground place with no light, and there shouldn't be farmers there necessarily. Yeah, shouldn't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. And I don't want that or that. Probably don't need that at this point. Don't need that. Rune. Gaia. Charm. Pretty sure we're good on everything there. Good on everything there. Actually, I'm gonna take the ninja headband here and put that on Kane. I may want to sync Sid's, actually, does one of these guys have Dragoon armor? Yeah. This may seem weird, but I promise there's a reason. So we're probably going to tank Sid's agility later. And the way you do that is by... whatever. The way you do that is by equipping the Cursed Ring, which means he'd lose his Dragoon. Cursed Ring lets you absorb all elements, or that you're resistant to. Dragoon armor makes you immune to all elements, so that way he'll be really low agility, but he'll be really good at everything else. I'm actually going to go ahead and do one egg check quick. I think maybe two. That's perfect. Perfect. Rose learned Cure 3. That's what I really... One of the things I wanted. It's not the only thing I wanted, but it's a thing that I was just like, you know what? We're right here. Let's just do a quick round of eggs just to... Or in this case, an egg. We're going to go down Sylph Cave. This is a free check. It takes some time, but it's free. I'm a big fan of free. Also, we're kind of at the point where we have a lot open to us right now between the moon and a couple underground checks. I'd like to just get going on those. We don't have the pan, so we can't actually wake him up. But we do that, and then when we go back to the surface, we can check with his wife. It's a free check. It's partially because we're also already hurt. So going down both of the caves gets us through without having to heal twice. Because of all the damage tiles that we're taking. This is another free check. And there's 2 bosses on top of that. We'll see who the bosses are and decide if we want to actually deal with that. Honestly, we've gotten rid of a few nasty bosses already, but there's still a lot of nasty bosses left. And there's a lot of bosses that are just nasty at those spots specifically. Sand Ruby would be another Porum, so not worth it. But it gets us closer to our 10 key items. When you hit 10 key items, your experience doubles. We want that. Same idea as the Cure 2s earlier. Healing spells are nice when you're affecting the whole party, but if somebody's about to die, it's way better to actually just toss a Cure Potion, even from Rosa or somebody, because Cure Potions are faster. There's a animation and time that goes into the Cure spells that means that people are more likely to die. Yeah, we've got access to pretty much everything except for the tower, I think, at this point. We haven't done ordeals, which at some point here would be a really easy check. We'll do this quick. This should be super easy. I don't know if I want to do Dark Elf. Well, no, that's a super low magic spot. The Dark Elf shouldn't be too bad. So the back row are not immune to the stop spell, which means they also can't do their counterattack, which would transform them into the second form. So we basically bypass that entire section of the fight here. Virus and Nuke. That's one of the spells I was missing. And a life staff. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna go heal and save quick. Because making sure we're at full strength for Dark Elf is probably okay. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna save and heal. I don't actually need to use a cabin here. And realistically, I should be using Artemis, arrows, Elven Bow here. We're okay on hit points. I'll take the risk. So, Dark Elf uses a lot of magic. The Ashura spot is very physical based. The second half of Dark Elf's fight is a dragon. So we should be able to use we'll see how much this does. Roses should be able to start attacking during the second half though. Oh, perfect. That's unfortunate that it was right before he jumped, but we should be okay. He is super fast here. Okay, so we may need to adjust. We definitely need the we'll do that first. Whisper makes it so his nuke doesn't go off. This is really bad. Okay. I still think we can do this fight. I just think we need to. Okay, we're gonna reset. Okay. So, I mentioned agility earlier. So that's what we're doing. Next, we have him kitted out for magic. Quake, nuke. That's all I care about right now. And Sheik's got Cure 3, Cure 2, Blink, Exit, Life, Heal. Okay. Okay. So the way agility works in this game is a relative system. Basically, it means it goes off of everything in the agility system revolves around the agility of your center character, which in this case is Sid. We gave Sid the Cursed Ring, which gives him a minus 15 to agility. Which means that everything else via relative agility is faster. We're going to give... So we got our Silk Web off, we're at much lower agility, we're getting our Berserks up, we're getting a Cure 3 out on Rosa to keep her alive. We're going to start doing nukes when we get a chance here. With Fusoya. Doesn't matter if anybody else gets turned into a pig except Rosa and Fusoya. That's actually going to heal Sid. It'll do a little bit of damage, but nothing substantial. And get Kane off the ground. Perfect. He's changing already. And at this point, he's going to start doing physical attacks, which is bad. But... oh, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Or Sid's just in the back row with full armor. But we should be able to nuke. That should do a bunch of damage. That should do it. Perfect. So I learned weak. That's actually really important. And we got the package, which is not important. More importantly, we have peace of mind. regarding this area, and we don't have to come back. Let's see, she just learned something that I wanted to no, Fusoya just learned weak, which I want to bump up to the top. Moon Boss. Plague, Pale Dim, Pogo Pogo, Lunar Dragons. I've got a lot of Moon Bosses left. Singles, so it's not Lunar Dragons. Could be Ogopogo, Plague. If it's Plague, we're in really good shape. Crap. I was hoping I could get the Reflect off before he went. That's okay. Rosa's gonna blow herself up. We're gonna cast Life. He's gonna reapply Count. It's gonna reflect back. We wait for Fusoya's timer to run down. He's gonna cast Fast a lot, apparently. This is really all Plague does. It's supposed to be a race. But if you use these reflect tricks, you just win. So he should just die. I'm gonna do this just in case, because I'm slightly paranoid, because I feel like he should be dead already. Why isn't he dead? Berserk does weird things with the timer. That's why I used it. This should get him the count back. Fusoya and Kane might still die unless he randomly casts count. There we go. There we go. There is a second fight to this, which is so it's really unfortunate that we've got a few people at low health, but it's not a big deal, depending on who it is. This fight is a lot lower health, but it can still be nasty. That's either the Fabul Gauntlet or the Water Hag fight, both of which are not bad. Second Edge? Do I want a second Edge? I don't think I want a second Edge. He does have cooler armor than this Edge. No. Yes, we'll take his equipment. Black Belt and Bandana are both amazing. Unfortunately, that means that's the Gauntlet, which means we have to fight through all of it, and I think I got rid of my Ether. We get the epic boss music for this whole section. This guy's not going to give, this fight's not going to give experience. So we can just kind of burn through it. Shouldn't matter about, shouldn't matter about anything as far as that goes. Relatively fast spot, unfortunately, so, but not very strong, so it's mostly just time wasting more than anything. We could use some new swords for Edge at some point. He's the only character who has no... Like, he's literally using the equipment he started with, except for his gauntlet. Retreat! 3 more? Oh, that was actually worth experience. I didn't think this fight was, or these fights were worth experience. Oh well. I always forget that guy's immune to death. It's like the one good opportunity in this thing to use death, and it doesn't work. There's no way he's actually going to finish casting that, probably. Because the way the bosses work, the gauntlet splits up the HP for all of the, or for the whatever boss it is, between all of the enemies. It's also weighted more towards certain enemies, so like those generals get extra, and the guys in the front row get very, very little. The result is that these fights tend to be very easy, but they take forever, just because there's so many of them. Which, honestly, there's worse problems to have. Creepy Golbuzz hand. Power key. It's 2 more checks. I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. I suppose this is going to be easier than the other alternatives, so let's roll with it. I take that back. It's not easier than Ordeals, but Ordeals is 3 boss fights. This is also 2 boss fights and a cutscene, so it's and a long walk, so it's probably actually about the same. But this is going to be 2 items. This is the most condensed item area we have on Earth at this point. Oh, that's right. We've got that bandana and black belt. Bandana. Black belt. Damage output's more important than pretty much anything else for those characters. That's how it works. I don't think I've got any spots left that are going to have character checks associated, so I'm probably okay to make other uses of the Excalibur. I'm probably going to wait and throw it at Zeromus at this point, or if I get into a spot where I have a really bad fight, I could use it that way. Bygone, this should be cake. We'll see. He probably hits pretty hard here, but I'm pretty sure we can quake off his arms. That's relatively... Oh, yeah, that's relatively hard. But this will slow him down a lot. And he doesn't have a ton of hit points. He's going to cast Wall, but that doesn't actually help him. Because Quake goes through. Crap. Was not thinking about that part. Technically, I should have waited for his arms to show back up, because Quake actually doesn't target things unless they were on screen when it goes off. But that should kill him. Yeah. I'm hoping we can kill one of them before they explode. And we're going to be using a... That was a really good experience gain. I didn't realize that fight was that good of experience. Got the pass. Awesome. Silver, heal, Medusa, Odin, lit, poison, go. Pass will let us potentially be able to skip the moon entirely, but considering what we've got left, there's a good chance we're going to be looking for items on the moon. Yeah, looking at this point, I mean, it'll save us a trip back to the moon. so we definitely want it. Because we have to go back into the underground to forge the crystal once we get it. We haven't found either half of the crystal yet. I'm hoping we're not looking at Luca. Shura, this is the best spot for Shura to be in. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Double Rune X against Ashura in the Dark Imp spot. This is like amazing. Like, Ashura's not a super hard boss, but she's so annoying normally, and this is the easiest fight for her, besides like a couple at the beginning. But usually at those points, you don't do enough damage to one-shot her like that. Okay. So there's like 6 items on the moon still. There's a bunch of junk still junk options still in the pool. But some of those junk options will be Edge and Kane's weapons, which makes them a little more appealing. Thump. Fuck. Oops. Let's get our free stuff out of the way before we go and mess with apparently it can't drive over the airship. Good to know. Didn't ever have that come up somehow. So yeah, there's 2 free checks here. Our shirt is not what we're looking for, but is good. Again, it's kind of at a weird spot where a lot of the items that are left in the pool are still good to get, even if they don't give us progress at this point. I guess I can run and do our deals because it should be a joke. Like, it's easier than doing moon bosses, but it's time. I'm not doing sealed cave until nothing else is left. So if it's sealed cave, then I'm doing a 17. Unless this is we could totally skip moon if it ends up being down in sealed cave. You can always run into sealed cave and see what the item is and then leave. Or reset, rather. I might do that. Okay, we're doing ordeals and we're doing sealed cave. Because Adamant was on Yang, or was at Yang's wife. That should also put us at 10 key items, so we can... whatever. When we need to level up, we can level up real fast. Which, at this point, we'll probably do eggs unless we go to the moon. And if we go to the moon, we'll do the actual checks. There's nothing I'm worried about being here at this point. I realize that every time I say something stupid like that, I end up, like, almost dying. But, again, double rune axe against something that's weak to that. We're way higher level than we need to be for this. Yes, they're going to still hit pretty hard, but we're going to take them out in one hit. So yeah, you just have to hit Water Hag 3 times. Excuse me. Okay. Sorry about that. I never just sneezed once. Of course it's the pan. Well, that's 2 more free checks without having to go to the moon. CPU here is amazing. Should have like a few hundred hit points, so this should kill it. So downside is I wasted my time doing the pan check without having all 3 checks there. Good news is we can get 2 more free ones without having to worry about it. And if we end up skipping moon, I'm okay with that. If we don't end up skipping moon, then meh. We have 2 more free checks, plus we can check the sealed cave quick. Like I said, my plan for that is literally just to save outside it. And like walk through it, check the item. If it's not the legend sword, reset. I don't care what else it is, it's not worth all of the time. And walking back out, if it's not the legend. I would have said or the pan, but we have the pan now. We're gonna check pan first. And unfortunately, since it was at ordeals, that means it was already accessible, and it was just me trying to avoid doing ordeals. I have no one to blame but myself. Let's see, I did Antlion, I did... I'm trying to just double check to make sure I didn't miss something that I'm not thinking about, but I'm pretty sure I'm good. Second Excalibur. So second Excalibur is interesting. So one of my downsides right now I mentioned is I don't have a good weapon for edge. However, I've got 2 Excaliburs, which means that if I use Edge's first 2 turns to throw Excaliburs, he's actually still contributing a lot of damage. If one of these ends up being the spoon, that'll also be a thrown item. I didn't say I wanted it. Stupid game. Okay, so we've got 3 thrown items for Edge for Zermus at this point. I suppose on the other or on one hand, I'm kind of okay with having that as an option. I'm gonna check Sealed Cave, even though it's my least favorite. Like I said, I'll just save outside. It'll save us the walk out and the boss fight if it's a worthless item. We've already done Mist Dragon, so even at that point, it wouldn't be worth fighting the boss. It's not worth checking the boss. For next. Because, yeah, like something like Gungnir could show up here, or Masamune. I don't think either of those is actually worth the walk back out. Like, the damage difference isn't that great. Okay. Saving there as a backup in case it's something that I want and it's a annoying boss. Since I didn't heal. Definitely not worth. Okay, no more goose chases. It is time to just quick full clear moon. We're gonna grind first. We're already at the key item limit. We've got our items. We've got all of our characters. Like, outside of Edge needing weapons, which again, we have workarounds for, I'm not super worried about anything at this point. So we're gonna check what the Bahamut spot is real quick. I'll decide if I want to do the boss first or the grind first. No, I'm just gonna do the grind first and then kill whatever boss is there. We only have a few of those, so that we're not gonna get to do a ton of these fights, but that's okay. Since they're dragons, they're 4 times weak to Rosa's attacks. And I use the life glitch there to get double experience from one of them. 180,000 experience is a very quick way to level up. We shouldn't need more than the 4. I could do what, 5? I could do 5. But I shouldn't even need that many. Pretty sure I can't cast weak very many more times, so we're just gonna beat this one down. We're getting real close to our magic numbers here. By the way, for the record, these guys are immune to instant death, so that's why I'm not using the coffins that I've got left. And that should do it. Yep. The important goal there was to get Rosa up to above 2,000 hit points. So I should probably also use, well, first of all, change. Second of all, that'll help mitigate more. Mom Bomb. Okay. This should be doable. Easy enough. I stand corrected. Wow. He's almost out of MP, so he's actually not super useful after that. Perfect. We're gonna have Edge use Image. To refresh his own. Probably should have had her cast Blink, but whatever. And try and keep Kane in the air, so there's less people I have to keep casting Blink on. That was a mistake. Yeah. He absorbed a hit. That's about all he's good for right now. I needed to kill him before he exploded. When he gets to that second phase, there'd be multiple bombs attacking, and we would have died horribly. So, we know that's not the option now. We've got our levels. We got one more boss fight out of the way. That was a really nasty fight. I was not expecting it to be nearly that brutal. Now I know. Now I know. Slightly regretting not having ethers, and I'm trying to remember if the Moon Shop had them. I think it's worth checking, because Fusoya running out of magic is not good. It won't matter for the Zeromus fight, really, I suppose. But I'd rather it cuts out the potential for us to have to do quite as much cabins between rounds for the Crystal Palace and Lunar Subterrane. Speaking of, let's do this. We've still got the 2 Excaliburs to throw at Zeromus. And I'm kind of hoping we'll find... If we don't find the legend immediately, I am hoping that we find one of Edge's weapons along the way. So we're going to do bottom up. A lot of times I check this one first. I'm not going to this time. We're going full on, start at the bottom, work our way up. Get those 3 bosses at the bottom that are all, or start with the 2-item one, super efficient. Maximize our odds. Then come do the out-of-the-way ones on the way back. I will say I'm really glad I didn't come to the moon on that first trip. I was considering just taking the sirens I had and just doing a grind and just getting up to like level 50 and then just doing moon bosses. Oh my god. This might take a couple tries. We may need to do that whole throwing thing. Dead. What? I've never seen a full party survive that before. Holy crap. Okay, we get a round. Let's do this. Apparently we get more than one round. I thought it was just a immediate Odin again. There we go. That was the luckiest crap I have ever seen. Apparently that spot is very weak physically. Is that two-handed? Okay. Whoa, whoa, no, no. Save, heal. Avenger is the third best weapon in the game, behind Crystal Sword and Excalibur. It's super powerful because it auto-berserks you. I don't think there's any bosses left that I'm worrying about berserk, but I'm probably wrong. We'll find out. Yeah, this one we definitely want berserk, so... This is a boss where you don't want to use spells for the most part, so... Plan is basically just going to be to have Kane and Edge do physical attacks with their berserk and heal when necessary. I have a thought. Sid seems like Sid's doing not very much damage. I'm wondering if he somehow lost his glitch. So I'm gonna just go ahead and give him the Artemis arrows and the bow. Especially against the dragon boss that we're fighting. So he can contribute damage. And just wade through the slow counterattacks and hope he can't actually get a chance to act normally. Ribbon. Thanks. That helps with Rosa surviving, but it's not, like, amazing. Should be good without a cabin there. And we've got Sid hopefully dishing out more damage now. It just seemed like he wasn't contributing much. Like, Edge is using short swords still. Oh my god, are you serious? Okay. They get their one round? Nope. Not even that. Should have done the officer, I wasn't thinking. That's okay. Whatever. Not a huge deal. You can get a life glitch off on one of them. It's still better than nothing. Fortunately, this is the last free fight. Fortunately, this may be our last fight, so, you know, I'll take it. Couple levels. Unnecessary levels at this point, but whatever. Legend Sword. Boom. Do this. We have to walk back out of this part of the subterrane. So we checked all but 2 boss spots in the end, which is less than desirable, but it's still pretty quick. Like, all things considered, this is one of the... I haven't had a time this low in quite a while. So I'm looking at what? Yeah. We're probably a little over 2 hours at this point. I'm okay with that. Like, the last few runs... I haven't actually completed a run in a while because they've all been so rough. And they just haven't been fun. And... while I still tried a bunch, I was still, like, enjoying myself enough to try them. It was more of a... I was not in the mental state to work through complex seeds, where there were a lot of rough fights early on and a unpleasant party. Nope. But hey, if we wanted more crystal shields, figured it was worth checking the shop there just to see if they had weapons for Edge. Nope. Usually there is top tier gear in that shop every time, so it's worth checking regardless, unless you are like to the nines geared out, because you can get like Zeus gauntlets or white robes or black belts, ninja helms. Like, there's lots of good gear there. Okay, so we're actually going to give Fusoya the cursed ring here, which is going to sink his agility to an abysmal level. We're going to do a quick check here. I want to get... So we're going to have Crystal, Silk Webs, Bacchus Wines, the Pass can get bumped up there. I want my Excaliburs up here. And those Cure 3s. This is a weird setup that we're ending up on, but it works. Fusoya might die. I don't care. Fusoya's job is to be a very slow mop if needed. It kills relative agility to the point where we should be able to just wreck Zeromas. And Fusoya's naturally going to have low total HP compared to the rest of the party. I think everybody's over 2,000, so I'm not really worried about that, but yeah. See who the boss is. One of the other things they randomize is the boss sprite here, so we'll see who the boss is. Mew. Okay. Ooh, Silkweb missed. Let's try again. There we go. It's gonna get one nuke counter off. That's fine. Ideally, we'll get a heal off before he explodes on him. In fact, I'm going to Cure 3 here just to be safe. May not be enough. Yeah, Big Bang got off. Hopefully it's really low damage. Yeah, it was. Okay. It should be at that point. I totally forgot to have Edge throw those Excaliburs. That's okay. He's actually doing 3,000 damage a hit, which is more than I expected. Okay, never mind, it's varying, but regardless, he's doing a bunch of damage. Sid has the Artemis arrows equipped. While you're berserked in a single fight, you should not run out of arrows, even if your arrow pool technically runs out. So I'm hoping that glitch actually works and he doesn't end up just punching Zeromas. Now we wait. We've got our 2 magic users to react as needed. And our physical characters are just going to go to town. I don't want to fuss with it. We could technically be doing something like setting up a reflect for white and nuke. I don't feel like it's worth it at this point. This is going to be a more powerful Big Bang. Fusoya may die here. Nope. I forgot to change his equipment out. So actually, we'll potentially look at that here quick, but I'm pretty sure he's almost dead, so Not gonna spend too much time on it. Do I not have another one? There we go. He's decked out in black magic gear, so his stats for white magic casting are very low right now, which is why he only healed for like 500 when Rosa healed for like 1,000 something. He also has a lot lower stats than Rosa in general for white magic casting, because Rosa is just a white mage, so her stats are geared for just white magic. Since he's a split caster, Fusaya has lower black magic and white magic stats than the good casters on either side. He's better than Tella, but he's not that great still. And actually, he's better than Rydia, as Rydia is also terrible. Like, her black magic stat is mediocre. Let's see where we're at quick. I don't want to waste her. This is a blessing in disguise. Oh, never mind. Okay. I was gonna say, I was gonna revive Edge and then have him throw those Excaliburs since I'd forgotten to at the beginning. And, which actually, ironically, if I'd thrown those two Excaliburs at the beginning, he probably wouldn't have gotten that last big bang off, and we wouldn't have lost any characters, so that happens. So yeah, that was actually a really solid run overall. We're probably sitting at about 230 overall. Maybe a little between around 215, 220, maybe, of real time, because I did have a couple resets. Like, I know 2 minutes went into just the cave, the sealed cave. But yeah. It's the first time in a while that I've felt like I had a good party. I know Tony and Mark have both made comments about being really tired of getting, you know, Sid, Palamemporum, and Rydia, and Tella, and Edward. Like, getting Cecil, Kane, Edge, Fusaya, Rosa is nice on occasion. It's nice to get that really solid party that you know can actually pull you through the game. Sid's good at the beginning, but he really ends up coming short later, and we've had a lot of seeds that were like 2-3 Sids. Like, just a ridiculous number of Sids. And the one with three, actually I think there were 2 or 3 of them with multiple Tellas also, where the only character options you had at the beginning were Sids and Tellas. 205. Okay, I thought my in-game was going to be longer than that, so maybe I'm closer to 215. Like, I don't think I had, what, 1 death, maybe? 2? And a couple other quick resets when it wasn't worth the trip. So, yeah, that felt pretty good. I'm okay with that time. For considering that we almost full cleared, that is a much better time for a full clear seed than the like 330 or whatever that I got last time I finished one. Or not completing it at all because the party I got was horrendous. So, hopefully you're still enjoying this. This should be my 999th video that I'm putting up. I mentioned in my Fallout, one of my Fallout videos that I just put up, but I want to mention here because this is right before 1000. I had talked about doing something special for my 1000th video. At this point, I haven't put together the thing I wanted to for it. I'm still going to try and do something somewhat special, but I'm less concerned about what I really want to do. And I'm going to still put out my original idea was to do something with higher production values. I actually had somebody edit it and put together play something that was extremely challenging. I'm still going to do that. I'm still going to do that as a celebration of hitting 1,000 videos. But I'm not going to stop putting out videos until that's done. Because it's not ready yet at all. I'm still trying to figure out the recording stuff with it, let alone getting it over to the guy who said he'd help edit it, let alone however long any of that interaction is going to take. So, for the meantime, I'll just say thank you all for watching. I know I don't have some huge following or something like that, but the fact that the number of people who I know pop in on occasion and watch these is getting up to, getting up to double digits. And I appreciate every single one of you. This has been a really fun little experiment for me over the last few years, and I'm gonna keep doing it. I've got a whole list of games left. We're getting close to 100 games that have shown up on here also. And, I realize that that's not... I mean, that sounds like a lot, but my to-do list is currently still sitting at, 250 or something like that at this point. Now, a lot of that to-do list is games that have a little note that explains why I'm not going to do them. But down the road, I may still be able to get around that. Some of those are things like, I can't get the system to run and record at the same time because my computer's, 8 years old, and running a PlayStation emulator at the same time as my recording software makes it die. But I think this is the beginning. This is, 1,000 videos down. This is, almost 100 games. This is, a month's worth of real time at this point, I think, or something like that. I have the numbers in my spreadsheet. It's a ridiculous number. And it's the first time I've started something like this and really felt invested in it without feeling like I was obligated to just keep escalating. Every time I get a schedule down and I force myself to keep up with it, it just ends up awful. I end up going with it for a while, and then I feel like I'm in a good spot with it, and then I try to do more, and I add another, so now I'm doing, 5 things a month instead of just 1 a week, and then it always ends up a mess. This is the first thing I've really stuck to like this, and it's something I enjoy. It's something that I can just kind of go at my own pace, and yeah. Things that are coming up. Fallout is continuing. Second Densetsu 3 will probably be continuing. Like I said, whatever I'm doing for 1,000th video, and then the celebration of that, which I've looked at doing either a Mario ROM hack, like a really hard Mario ROM hack. I'm not going to do the whole game, just like a level. See how long it takes. some other difficult runs out there, I'm not super worried, like Ninja Gaiden or something ridiculous like that. Other things that are on the menu, the East games. I've got East Origins and Legend of Sosetta that I bought on Steam. I've played Origins before. I'm thinking these would be a good fit. There's a couple other Metroidvanias, including Metroid. December is going to be the launch of Phoenix Point, which is an XCOM clone by the people who made one of the original XCOM games. XCOM 2 died last time I tried running it. Like, my run didn't actually finish. Phoenix Point is going to be my chance to do another quote-unquote XCOM run. And much, much more. Lots of RPGs, lots of good Super Nintendo RPGs still out there. So, I'll keep going. Well, we've reached the whole... I managed to talk through the whole credits, so I will end here. Hopefully you're still enjoying. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out all the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. If you have any games you'd like me to play, include that. Like I said, I've got a whole list. At worst, I'll put it on the list. Yeah. As always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.